Sprinkles, get your slippers on. We're going to have a quick chat about PulseChain Launch strategy. And we're going to talk about the weak hands and what they're going to do, what it's going to look like on the chart. And this can be completely wrong, but we just got to be prepared, okay? Because a lot of people are going to make mistakes. I know this because I've seen it time and time again. Too many people get excited. No one knows what to do, okay? So we're going to have PulseHEX, and then Ethereum HEX, PulseX, and then Pulse itself, all right? So I already know from my previous video, this is the Dingleberry crowd, all right? The Dingleberry crowd, they are going to want to sell HEX on Ethereum. Now, they are going to say these talking points. I'm going to write them down, but I'm just going to ignore them, all right? So I just want you to know, writing them down for no reason. So they're going to say ETH gas fees high, ETH inferior, HEX on Ethereum no longer cool, no reason to hold, all right? So that's what they're going to say about HEX Ethereum, okay? It's not eHEX, but I just denoted eHEX, okay? So that's what they're going to say. And you can look at all these and say, wow, those are actually great points. I'm going to be a paper hand and sell the lows with everyone else too. But I am going to now give you one reason why selling eHEX is probably the mid-curve idea, all right? So maybe you've seen this guy before. Some of you don't recognize who he is. And this guy's ego is too big. How do I know this? It's exactly how I would think, okay? So let's draw a little balloon. Okay. Maybe you've heard of him, right? Ricardo. Ricardo's ego is too big. I'm trying to think of the chess game here. I think Ricardo loves charts. I think he loves prices going up. I also think he loves winning. He doesn't like giving a reason for the haters, the non-believers, those people to have ammo. I don't think he wants them to have ammo. I don't think he wants them to be pasting pictures of the chart of a HEX price going down and staying down. So I think this actually trumps everything, personally. All right. So even if he didn't have this, I'm just now thinking the weak hands, man. The weak hands want to sell HEX on Ethereum. And they also want to sell PulseX. So what no one is even thinking of, everybody thinks that PulseX and Pulse are going to launch and then they're just going to drop. So everyone thinks, right? So here is sacrifice, day one sacrifice, day one sacrifice. Everyone thinks they're just going to gap up and it's going to and just fart downwards, all right? That's what everyone thinks, right? And they're going to think, oh, I'm going to have a chance to buy minus 90% dip. Wow. Hold your horses, all right? I've already made a post showing you that I think Richie is timing the bottom. Now, I don't think that the chain is ready, but I do think in 2025, 2026, when someone posts the chart with my big fat arrow pointing to where we launched relative to Bitcoin cycle, it's going to look like it replicated HEX, and it's going to look like it was timed. That's all I care about, okay? So, having said this, when he does that, you've already seen my videos on the power of green monthly candles. When a monthly candle is green, the news is good and everyone is rocking. And you just get buyers out of nowhere and people get the confidence to increase their clip size, right? So what everybody is discounting is the fact that maybe he times it when Bitcoin and Ethereum are going up. Like, it hasn't even entered everyone's brain. What if we're just getting green candles in Bitcoin and Ethereum? What if nobody wants to sell? What if Bitcoin's $31,000? What if the halvening is only like 9 months away? What if Ethereum is also pumping? Okay. What if good news just starts coming? Do you know how easy it is to people? We're already in crypto, right? You can just start convincing them, oh my God, we're going to the moon again, right? And no one wants to sell. So you factor all these together. The strategy of I'm going to wait on the sidelines and buy everyone's blood. Maybe you're not going to get that, man. Maybe you're not going to get that. He did things differently this time for you not to get that. Okay. So maybe we don't get that chance. So everyone thinks this is going to happen, right? This big minus 50%, minus 90%. Oh, everyone's going to cash out. So I'm going to now show you maybe what the chart's going to look like for HEX. So maybe when we launch, we hit some price point up here. So we get up here for the very short-termers who want to get the PHEX copy. They're just going to buy last minute, non-believers. They want to get the free copy. All right. What if HEX on Ethereum does a big doo-doo? All right. Now, I already know how weak and fragile a lot of the hands are. And I think there's a good chance this will be oversold. So I'm already ready to pounce because I already know the crowd is looking at HEX on Ethereum to go down. I've got double poopy here, man. You don't get a double poopy accidentally. Like, I've spoken to so many people. I know some influencers and some guys who are OGs say, no, it's not going to happen. Dude, go speak to everyone. If they see some red candles and the first week hands getting out, they are going to sell. Obviously, I hope they don't, but I kind of hope they do because my strategy is I'm going to be going the other way to them. So if they dump HEX on Ethereum and they buy PLS, it's possible, friends. See that day one sacrifice? Okay, so this is day one sacrifice price. What if it gaps up like 4x? What if that happens, right? What if it just gaps up, opens 4x higher than day one sacrifice? You know, the sacrifice was done in July of 2021. Like, a lot of time has passed, man. A lot of time. Like, that's enough for the network to grow, more people to join, everything to grow bigger, man. So it's not out of this world for it to gap up 4x higher. If you equate the market cap, that would be about a 2.4 billion market cap. And hey, man, I think that's pretty fair. Now, here's the thing. Everyone thinks, okay, I'll just buy then. All right, well, what if there's no liquidity, man? You think someone's going to sit here like an idiot giving you all the money? What if in the first 30 minutes, it's up plus 100%? You ever thought about that? Man, I've been day trading for 12 years. You think free money sits around like this when there's 100,000 eyeballs watching? What if it just literally, it's up plus 100%? Now you are up plus 8x from day one sack very quickly. So I'm not buying that, okay? I already have Pulse sacrifice. I'm not going to be buying with these FOMO hands because all the money that goes into here, they're probably, where did it leave? It left HEX on Ethereum. So I'm already going to be eyeing this, right? And I think Ricardo's ego and HEX is his baby. I don't think he's going to let it die. I think there's going to be liquidity bonding eventually. So a lot of people, you got to watch my whole video, man. I said there's a good chance it's not bonded at the start. He lets the weak hands out. Ricardo, let me get his head. This man, look, man, this man does not reward weaklings. He only rewards the strong. The strong will hold, okay? And the strong will buy. So one possibility is everyone dumps the eHEX. You find some money in your piggy bank and you buy it. And maybe, just maybe, slowly, it just goes back to parity. And then the liquidity gets bonded up there. What if that happens? Wouldn't that would be the actual trade. Wouldn't that be funny? And it's not even really that funny because look where all the FOMO hands are going. They're leaving HEX on Ethereum to go buy something else, right? So it's also possible that if PLS is a plus 8x from day one sack, maybe there's a lot of weak hands in PulseX, right? And maybe this is day one sack. Maybe it's down 50%, all right? Maybe that happens, right? So that would be a big ratio shift, Maybe at the start it's like 4-to-1, 8-to-1. Maybe that happens, man. You don't know. Anything can happen. It depends how we value it. And it depends how the ratios are set. We don't know if the origin address, whoever it is, the religious priest, the pink elephant, whoever it is controlling it, we don't know if the ratios will be set in a thick way at the start, right? We don't know if he's going to make it look dangerous at the start and he's only going to reward the believers. Okay, he, she, they, them, we don't know who it is, all right? So there's so many unknowns. That's why I'm saying, man, it's hard to just guess what the next move is going to be. That's why it's so easy to just buy the depression and just hold to 2025. That's it. Click in. Think about clicking out in 3 years, right? So much easier, right? But if you dare to play this game, that's what I'm going to be looking for. My first eye is going to be on HEX on Ethereum. I want this to get oversold. PLS might get overbought, Maybe that's too high. I don't know. Maybe that's a fair value. Okay. I don't like buying fair value. I like buying cheap, all right? I like buying blood because I know how weak the average person is, all right? So what about PulseX? If this is cheap, I want to see what the ratio is like, you know? Maybe it goes down to 8-1, where it's maybe like 8 PLSX equals 1 PLS. Maybe that happens, man, right? Maybe it gets down there. And then you've got to decide, do you want to own it? I think I would, man. I already have PulseX sacrifice. Mine's bigger than my Pulse. But I think I'll rotate a bit. You know why? Because this man, he knows what people are like. We're going to be right in front of a bull market. We're going to be right in front. Bitcoin halvening, Ethereum supply burning, all the juicy stuff coming out. We're going to be right in front of that. Don't you want to own the leverage on the risk curve as you're going into a bull market? Yes, you do. All right. Yes, you do. The DEXs and all the other risk curve stuff, they go higher than the layer 1 chains. The layer 1 chain stuff, man, that's 2021. You're not going to get some ridiculous FOMO. Like people know how to value the stuff now, friends. People now know, okay, every chain has a DEX, and then it's got an NFT marketplace, and it's got a this, and that. Nothing really is making people go, oh, buy this at any price, right? That's just how I'm thinking, right? So what the market hasn't seen is a buy and burn on PulseX. They haven't seen that. So yeah, if we get something ridiculous like an 8-1, maybe I'm going to rotate some PLS into PulseX and be buying their blood. So remember, I have a poopy emoji for HEX and ETH and a poopy emoji for PulseX, and that's actually what we want. We want to buy. I'm looking for this to get destroyed. Okay, if people want to destroy them, be my guest. I stand in front of trains. I like buying the depression because when we're up in the skies, I don't want to be up like 3, 4, 5x. I love 10, 20, 30x's plus. Okay, not everyone's cut out for it, but hey, I'm here to hold your hand. Okay, so this leaves a question, right? What do we do with Pulse and then the HEX on Pulse? Well, I think we can't do anything, man. I think you've just, for HEX on Pulse, man, you just had too many chances to get in. Way too many chances. Obviously, to get HEX on Pulse, you've had what? You've had this whole time to buy in the depression. Like, I know I'm doing this here, but man, you've just had so long to get it, to get your copy. So, what price? Like, do you see people just selling their PHEX to get Pulse? That's one possibility as well, right? There is that possibility, but I'm gonna put them to the side here. Obviously, we're gonna watch, and you don't need to rush into anything, but I'm going to make these smaller. I just got a feeling this is what weak hands want. And by the way, when I say weak hands, it doesn't mean they're silly. It just means they're with the crowd, all right? There's 10 people on a boat. You don't want to be with the other 9, all right? You want to be with the 1. On average, you kill it, okay? So that's how I'm thinking about it. You can decide what you want to do. I hope you've sacrificed and you've allocated and you're sitting on the sideline just waiting like everyone else, but don't think this is going to make or break you, all right? This isn't, okay? Just don't do anything, all right? This whole ecosystem is going to work like an engine, and it's going to go forward as Ethereum and Bitcoin pump, and people come in, and we have cheaper gas fees and all of that, all right? So I can't tell you what's going to kill it the most, all right? All I know is that people, average mindset, people don't like PulseX, okay? They don't think it's going to pump the highest. So I like that. And why I like it is I can identify it. Okay, I like that people don't like this, right? Because that means on average, instead of selling it down 50%, maybe people sell it down 70%. You know, that's edge. That minus 50 to minus 70% gap, that's value for you to get in, right? If you have any spare money, all right? So let the people gamble on PulseChain if they want to buy it up, and maybe everything gets bonded with liquidity and we go up together anyway. But just be on the lookout for this. So maybe the play will actually be, you know, if PHEX is a bit too expensive, you let everything settle and you do get this big poopy face on the way down, maybe the trade will be, hey, everyone's going from Ethereum into Pulse. Well, maybe the trade would be, hey, take your Pulse HEX and go buy some cheap HEX on Ethereum. And then you'll be speculating that some religious priest, some magical pink elephant, he, she, they, them, right? Maybe something happens in the future with it, okay? And PulseX, of course, is going to be right in front of that bull market. So you have big advantages here if they get oversold. And like I said, this man, he doesn't want to see any of them go down. I know him. Like, you can have 4 charts, friends. 4 charts. Just imagine if he let one of the soldiers fall behind. I'm going to ask you now. This man has a lot of haters. He knows, okay? He knows if he looks after 3 babies, but he leaves 1 baby behind, what chart do you think they're going to be spamming on Twitter and tagging him? Exactly. They're going to be spamming this chart. Do you think he's going to let that happen? Nope. I don't think so. So yeah, it is a bit of chess, game theory, if you will, and also going against the weak hands. You know, there's a lot of things you have to consider before you start playing this game. That's why the best place to be is just like zip it up and do nothing. But we're going to be ready. I don't think it's going to all happen in the first 48 hours, all right? Because people don't know what's going on, all right? People can barely tie their shoelace out there. People don't even know what a ratio is, all right? So don't worry about this. We're going to chill out. We let it launch, but I'm eyeing this, man. It's got a double poopy emoji, okay? So this is not to say it's bad or it's good. If you want to make it in this game, like me, you have to sit here and appreciate, oh my God, I can find something that everyone's doing in one way so I can see if it goes too far. Isn't that the best place to be? It doesn't mean you automatically buy or automatically sell. It just means you got an edge, okay? Because everyone else is just seeing like a cloud of smoke and they don't even know what to look for, all right? But I'm here to guide you, okay? So, and obviously, look, the only reason why I'm telling you this is I am so confident. No words coming out of my mouth are gonna make the market participants on average hold HEX on Ethereum, okay? If they want to sell, they got their finger ready to do it. And I hope they screw it up. Very thin liquidity. They might be paying huge slippage, friends. Like, oh my God, I'm already frothing at the mouth. Can you imagine, man, like HEX on Ethereum goes down, like, you know, it's like, let's say HEX is like 10 cents on the PulseChain launch, and then someone sells it down to like 5, and then it actually goes down to like 2.5. Wouldn't that be juicy? And just people paying so much slippage. I'm like, wow, thank you. Thank you for selling your diamonds for pennies, because you don't really believe in the system. That's what you want, man. That's what you want. You want people to quit, because when they quit, you're a strong hand, you get to buy, okay? So as a final summary, friends, we've gone through a couple of the tickers here, okay? We've gone through a couple of tickers. There's a couple of things to manage, all right? We now know. The final summary. We want to buy. First preference, if this gets destroyed, I want to buy that. Second preference, I want to buy more PulseX, okay? All right? We're going to leave these to the side. I'm not going to sell them, but hey, man, if people go too stupid, anything can happen, right? I'm telling you, anything can happen. Like, what if HEX is 10 cents and then it launches, and then after a week, PHEX is 18 cents, but eHEX is 2 cents, right? Maybe you see something like that. You don't know. I mean, I'm buying this all day, man. You know, I'm buying this all day. So we don't know what's going to happen with the liquidity bonding and everything, but just stand ready. That's all I'm saying. Stand ready. And if you have any sideline money, don't rely on this game. You don't know what's going to happen, okay? Because he might not be thinking like that. And what if I'm actually right? What if we are launching on the back of big, fat, juicy, girthy, green monthly candles for Bitcoin and Ethereum, okay? What if that happens? What if we go back to 32,000 Bitcoin and people start tweeting, Michael Saylor's now back to break even, you know? Everyone's coming back in the market. No one's going to sell to you, man. It's going to be so tough to sit there. So you don't want to be caught as a weak hand. You get in early. That's the game. Until next time, friends.